Many, many thanks for rejoining me in the Numan Arms tonight.
The Numan Arms, yes.
Arms as a pub.
Yeah, I did see your profile picture, and I thought, oh, where's that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're more than happy to come along when time's open. But Rusty, is it just to start off, is it true that Steve Strange banned you playing Newman at the Blitz?
No. He didn't want to let him in.
Mm.
And I had produced Shock.
Yeah.
And I lived 5 minutes from them. And they would call me and say, Gary's coming over. And on numerous occasions, I never made it. It was only across the road.
Yeah.
So I'd never got to meet him. And I think they told Steve, oh, we're going to come next week, and Gary wants to come. And Gary had been on Top of the Pops and worn a PX shirt with the gold buttons down the side.
Yeah.
And Steve was really upset because it was kind of like, you wore it before me, you know, a fashionable. I can't wear it now that you've worn it. And I was really upset because bloody Bob Geldof came in and bought a PX. And if you look at some pictures of Bizarre, John McGeoch's wearing PX. And then the Skids, I was in the Skids.
You were, yeah.
And I wouldn't be in any videos with them because I kept saying, I'm not in the Skids. I'm just here for a little while. And then there's all these pictures of them wearing PX clothes, yellow and red. And actually, I think it might be the Old Grey Whistle Test. And I'm drumming with them on that. But it was all about fashion for Steve. You know.
Yeah.
Gary, you know, wore this outfit that Steve wanted to wear. And if he comes to the club, I'm not going to let him in. Yeah, so you know that George, Marilyn, Steve, and Philip Salon are like those 4 women that were in an American TV show. They all
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. They're like the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And but they're always like one-upmanship. And oh, George has done that, so I'm gonna do that. And you know, they would literally, you know, if one up all the time, you know. George was so upset that Steve's record had done well and he hadn't even got his band together. It was all like, I didn't know any of this. You know, I'd already been on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
My career was over by 79.
Yeah.
You know, I am a Numan fan, and I am a fan of the band, you know, the sound, and obviously I know the influences to Gary at that time. So when he appeared, I went, oh, Wolfgang Reekman, you know, oh, he's listened to this or he's listened to that, you know.
Yeah.
But recently I've watched interviews and he's been really honest, not like claiming to be the originator of anything. But back then when you were 20, you did. So I'm the first one, you know.
Yeah.
I had a drum machine going on the Skids.
Yeah.
Charade. And I'm playing the drums, but I programmed the same drum machine. And for any Numanoids who are really into who did what, I call myself the Invisible Man because I didn't care. Steve could claim everything. I didn't care. Oh, we went in the studio and I did this. And to me, if you need to go around claiming things that aren't you, I'm not just talking about Steve. I'm talking about anyone, you know. To me, so I watched the other day Chris Payne telling the story of Fade to Grey, which has got, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, and I don't know how many people have watched that.
A lot.
And I'm here with my son, and we work together, and I work with plugins and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I need to go into a room to go boom tap, boom shoo tap, do I need to go into a room to sit at a drum kit to wake up the neighbours or whatever, when I can just use a plugin? What's a plugin, Rusty? It just says there's all the drum sounds. Do you want a Lin? The Lin drum that was on the Human League, don't you want me? Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah.
Would you like a CR78? Oh, Hiroshima Mon Amour. I'd like that. Click. There it is on the screen. Now you just got to program it.
But don't you find that the difference now, Rusty, that back in the day as such, you didn't have all these programs. You actually had to do it, didn't you?
Well, it's not all these programs. It's the cost. Now, if I said to you, you can get a laptop for £5,000 and you can get one from wherever for £1,000 and it has all the things in it, you might say, well, I can afford £5,000.
Yeah.
I made the drums for £500, which was a fortune.
Yeah.
In 1984, and I paid a bloke called JJ Jezelik to come to the studio with a thing called a Fairlight that cost something like 50 grand. Yeah. And we made these drums for me, for a song I was doing called Beat Boy.
Yeah.
I then ran down into the vocal booth and I said, Beat Boy. Then I said, let me do that again. Beat Boy. Then I said, let me do it again 3 times.
Yeah.
Then I ran up into the control room and on a keyboard I said, Beat Boy. Beat, 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 beat boy. Boy, beat, boy, beat, boy, beat. Nah, that's too much. Beat Boy. Boof, bap, boof, bap, beat, 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 beat boy. Boom, boom. Yeah. And I made this beat.
Yeah.
Well, he made The Art of Noise. Where'd you get those drums? Well, I had them, you know. Me and JJ get on great. I never said anything. I'm the drummer on the theme tune at the Top of the Pops.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
I get people on YouTube or other social things going, Cedric played the drums on Fade to Grey. You're just a... And I go, Cedric played the drums with Chris Payne and Billy Currie on a piece of music.
What do they call it? Toot City or Toot Toot or something like that. Toot City or something.
Didn't mean fuck all to me because all I heard was that's nice, Billy. Let's work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't I just do? Let me hear the drum. Boom, tap, some, that, boom. Yeah, that's great. Leave that. Leave that.
But it was their sound check, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we all know the story. But what I'm trying to tell you about the actual finished record in Genetic Studios. How did he get into Genetic Studios? Well, because Rusty had a deal going with Martin Russian. What did Martin Russian know about electronic music? Well, he'd recorded the Stranglers and the Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what did he know about electronic music? Well, he didn't know anything until he sat in on the sessions watching Rusty with a CR78 and a Simpty code and a thin drum, making Mind of a Toy, triggering the drum. And he went, oh, how'd you do that? Oh, how'd you do that? And so on and so forth. So Billy said, hey, I've got this idea. I've got, yeah, sure, come on down, use the demo. It's another track for the Visage album. I spoke to Mitch. So I didn't say, get Cedric off that. I will sit in the studio and go boom, ta, boom, ta.
Yeah.
Because it's so intricate.
Yeah.
I just said, yeah, leave that kick and snare. Let's sync that up a bit better with the CR78, which don't forget, you played along. You didn't quantize. That didn't exist. MIDI didn't exist. You had to sort of guess, and then you had to tighten the beat when it was a little bit out. In case you have never noticed, Kraftwerk, the model doesn't go out of time.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing by Kraftwerk will go out of time. If you put on Blondie, and you tried to mix a record with it, if you put on I Feel Love, and the speakers will go dum 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 dum, it'll go out of time.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, it's literally out of time. Because it's all delays and it's all done by fingers and one hand, you know. So for any Numanoid, I can sit down and I can tell you now, when I was 15, my brother bought me a drum kit. He said, can you play the drums? I said, no, I'll have to learn. He said, okay, can you do this? Left foot, right foot, 1 foot. Let's go left, right, left, right, left, right. I said, yeah. He said, right, this hand, can you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1? Yeah. I said, yeah. He said, this hand, can you go 1, 2, 1, 2? He said, yeah. He said, you're a drummer. What? He said, you can keep time and you can count and you can use all 4 limbs simultaneously.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to know what was take 5. The Stranglers, Golden Brown, is in 5/4 time. What do you mean 5/4, Rusty? Well, you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, Golden Brown. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and the 5th beat is that Golden Brown.
Yeah.
So I started to learn about drum signatures, time signatures, jazz, and my drum teacher was an Australian New Zealander traveller bloke with a beard, and I was like 16, and he played drums with my parents.
Really?
And he came round and he said, oh, you got a drum kit? Yeah. I said, I'm learning. He said, do you want me to give you some lessons? Why don't you get a practice pad and do some paradiddles, you know, left, right, right, left, right, left. So I got a practice pad, did paradiddles. And then he said, you know, I play with the National Youth Jazz Orchestra. So I said, when's that? He said, Saturday morning. So I'll be very quick. But, you know, you're 16, right? So you really want to be a drummer. So I went to the National Youth Jazz Orchestra. And the other day I did a podcast with Martin Ware.
Yeah.
Human League.
I saw that, yeah. Or heard it, should I say.
Well, yeah. And he heard a story like now. And then I said, so when I was with the National Youth Jazz Orchestra, 16 years old, and I had 3 other drummers, it was like that movie. Have you seen the movie about the drummer? It's a very good movie about a drummer at drum college, and the drum teacher drives him crazy. I don't know what it's called, but it's a very intense movie, a bit like Black Swan for a ballet dancer.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a girl singer, and 5 years later, I'm in Trident Studios, about 84, 5, so it's a bit longer. 7 years later, and Martin Ware calls me and says, we've been through a dozen soul singers, and we're looking for a soul singer for this song, Temptation. I said, oh, you need to get this girl, Carol Kenyon. And I'll get hold of her for you because I've got a recording studio and we have a lot of session people in.
Yeah.
And I went up to Roz, who books all the deep producers like Flood
Mm.
and Mark Stent and Clyde Martin. We had them all in there, and in youth, and give me the number and put them together. So the other day I'm on a podcast and there's Martin Ware saying it was you that got us Carol Kenyon. So the Invisible Man again. So go on.
I was going to say, before we move on too much, I mean, you were in the Skids, weren't you?
Well, the way I looked at it, they needed a drummer for an album and a tour.
Yeah.
And I had the Blitz Club, and I'd already recorded I hadn't done Fade to Grey, I don't think.
No.
I'd done nearly all the album.
But
yeah.
But if you look back at because there's a documentary coming out pretty soon, I believe Saturday night.
Blitzed.
Yeah. If you could sum up that moment in time, and I'm sure you've been asked it a million times, but how would you sum up the whole? Because to me, when I don't think we're a million years apart in age. We were coming out of the 70s with a lot of things going on. Then towards the end of the 70s, there was Bowie, Human League, and everything going on. I always think it was an absolutely amazing time, But that's me. But how do you sum up the whole Blitz?
How do I sum up the era of the importance of the Blitz, which is subject of a documentary called Blitzed? Well, oh my God. You said that you've probably been asked that 1,000 times. Not really. Well, my own role for people watching it, I don't know if you know, but if you look at your streams, if you have Gary Numan on, you'll have 100,000 people. Well, and Rusty Egan, you get 1,000 people. I'm not really well known.
My channel's not really well known, but it's good.
Well, no, but I could look at a fake visage and there'll be 15,000 or 150,000 plays.
Right, okay.
Of a fake, not even real.
Yeah.
And then I say, I've written a song with Midure, Glorious, and I've got some beautiful mixes of it. I've got everything. And we got 10,000 views. And I go, I don't get this. Here is a brilliant piece of music, but a fake cover version or something.
Yeah.
Got millions of views with loads of people who don't know who I am Midure is. I don't know. So the Blitzed documentary that comes out on Sky Arts this weekend, I don't know when this is going to be broadcast. So therefore,
tomorrow night, if I get my way.
Oh my God! Okay. Well, Saturday night, I have no control over anybody that does anything. And as you know, a lot of people will tell you one thing, and another will happen. And the other day, I saw a trailer, and I just noticed how fat I was, and I thought I never even looked at the camera angle.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got Head and Shoulders, and they were like all the way down there, mate. They were like, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I've been stuck in COVID. Give me a break. I've got a beard and whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like,
hey,
that's terrible.
I put on 2 stone. Don't worry.
Everyone's everyone trapped in COVID.
Yeah.
And we filmed my interview in COVID, and I'm sitting on a couch which pushes my knees up. Anyway, I look terrible. But the 80s was all about everything. How you looked, what your album cover looked like, what you wore, what your logo looked like. You wanted to make a video. Nobody made videos. You didn't want to be in a sweaty band in the back of a van going up and down a motorway. You wanted to design your set. Gary did it all. Gary went out there and did it all, and he created everything that he wanted to create. The cover, the album cover, but you went into a record company and you talked to a bloke who looked like me now, and you were 20.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, Bachman Turner Overdrive, yeah. And you were like, Wings, the last album is bloody amazing, yeah. And you were like, I don't think you have any idea whatsoever what we want to do and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I was right. So it was another punk, except we didn't say, you boring old fart or anything. We did it through the actual record. And some people were really like the normal mute records was a joke. Like, what? Some bloke, 16 Decoy Avenue, Neasden, put out his silly little record. Listen, Wings have just done a multi-stadium sellout tour, and you're going, listen, that record is going to be one of the most important records, of their next, you know what I mean? And you were like, I'm not even going to bother to tell the bloke. I'm not even going to try. So Gary Numan.
Oh, sorry.
Gary Numan was, well, we got David Bowie. We don't need another one, do we? We're like, well, Gary Newman's not David Bowie.
No.
And have you listened to the words? And do you know what he's saying? And do you have any idea what he? No, because you're not welcome to it. You're not welcome to it, meaning you're not welcoming. Like I'm welcoming. And Midure having Tiny Magnetic Pets on tour, and OMD having, and Erasure, everyone's bringing along up and coming synth bands, and now Vince Clarke has remixed the Tiny Magnetic Pets.
Has he really?
Which I knew a month ago, but now it's out.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, after my amazing mix of Control Me.
Wait, no, you're invisible again.
Oh, what do you mean I'm invisible? Oh, yeah.
You're the invisible man.
I did the Control Me mix, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean you were invisible.
I thought I pressed the wrong button again. Am I talking too much?
No, mate. But
okay,
if you had to, I want to move on to the new album. But if you had to highlight the best moment at the Blitz Club or the best time, what would that be?
Yeah, it's really that's a sort of smash hits type question, And what I mean by that is the whole time, every single week, everything for me was the greatest time.
Right.
Because it would be like the class of whatever. If there were 30 kids in your class and every one of those kids met on a Friday at the school disco and said what it is that they wanted to do. And you said, what do you want to do, Johnny? Oh, I want to get a job working for a builder. Oh, what do you want to do, Fred? Oh, I really love to date that girl or something. The point was that everybody, every week, had some news. You won't believe it. Everybody was working towards doing something. Now, I've got the new album. I haven't written a song. I've written a piece of music. And when we were doing Blitzed, they said the song The Model was so important. And we'd like to play it and have people talking like me now and in the background, dum, da, 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 and they would interview them. And I said, well, why don't I just write a piece of music for the background while you're interviewing Blitz kids who are now 55 years old?
Indeed.
So I made this piece of music which I had made Boy George turn to dust. So I took the synth line and I took the bass line and then I took the mellow bit and then I went, catwalk. You're on the catwalk around the world. And the Blitz Club was a catwalk. And everybody every week showed up. And what are you wearing? Which is why Numan was not so popular, because he was wearing what I was going to wear. And he was on Top of the Pops on Thursday. And now I can't wear it. And then, of course, George would be wearing something that Marilyn wanted to wear, that Philip Salon's friend made. And they were all bickering about who wore what first, you know. So catwalk around the world. So, and then we talked about earlier on how people get discovered. And so I tweeted the other day that we're all a star, we just haven't been discovered yet.
Indeed.
And that was Marilyn's line. Whenever you went up to him and he looked like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
What do? I'm a star, just haven't been discovered yet. Would you like to take me to the toilet?
it sounds a bit like what's his name? Oh God, I've forgotten now.
Not a gay bloke by any chance.
No. I'm thinking of the something. Not Ronnie Cole, but who are the other two?
You're showing your age, mate. Here.
No, when he's playing the piano. And the guy.
Morecambe and Wise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1 minute. No, that was a bit more the other bloke. Oh, you are awful.
Yes. Oh, was that Ernie Wise, was it?
No. Oh, you are awful, but I like you.
Oh, Dick Henry. Oh God.
Yeah, Dick Henry doing that in the shop. Listen, we'll get back to the Blitz. The importance of the Blitz was, and I told this story the other day on Martin Ware, I think. The importance of it was that there was a girl, she looked stunning. And in the setting of the Blitz Club, which was a 1940s wine bar with, looked like Paris, and there'd be a girl there with a gitan, a glass of wine, and she'd have a beautiful hat on and beautiful clothes. And I was like heterosexual and very smartly attired, and thought, oh, she's beautiful. She looks like breakfast at Tiffany's, or everybody was like a star for the night. And I was there like I'd be around the honey. Hello. I'm the DJ. Do you want to choose a song? As long as it's not the Bee Gees, Anyway, they'd go, yeah, I'd love one, man, love one. And I go, oh, bloody hell, where are you from? I've come down from Doncaster, innit? Now in bloody Donny, there's now to do there, just louts. So it'd be like going up to, Grace Kelly, and she, she opens her mouth and just, I'm Donny, love, I'm from Donny. They all look amazing. They really look beautiful. I've got thousands of photos on my Rusty Egan profile in Facebook, and not Rusty Egan Presents profile in Facebook, and not Rusty somebody else Egan. That's my private one. The one that gets all the trolls going, why would you be my friend? I don't know you. Can you just follow me or join a group or something,
But Rusty, new album, mate.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about my new album?
New album out Friday.
The new album that is out on Friday is the Blitzed Soundtrack.
Right.
So basically, while you listen for 90 minutes of this documentary, there will be about, 20 pieces of music. And I've made about, 15 of them.
Yeah.
And including Catwalk. And then I thought, well, I did play Shock. I made it. I played it. Why don't I remaster it? I've only got horrible copies of it. You know, it's never been re-released, never been remastered. And I also went into my PRS and I've had a song that I wrote with Tim and Barbie from Shock and Richard Burgess. And it's been in my list of songs that I've written, but I could never work out what it was.
Yeah.
I've got loads of them.
Yeah.
And it was called Leisure.
Right.
Pleasure.
Pleasure, not leisure.
No, Leisure, Pleasure. And that was the name of the song.
All right,
Leisure. Was registered at the PRS for 30, 40 years as being written by Richard James Burgess, Tim Dry, Barbie Wilde, and Rusty Egan. Well, then I listened to Dream Games by Shock. And it goes, Leisure, Pleasure. And then I went, you know what? That piece of music, I loved it, always loved it. The drums are amazing.
Yeah.
And Richard and me programmed all the drums and that. And I went, you know what? That's Dream Games. That Leisure, Pleasure that I've never known what it was is Dream Games.
Yeah, yeah.
So why don't I get that and remaster that as well? So a brand spanking new 6.5-minute remastered version is on the Blitzed Soundtrack.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. And then I went, well, if I was in the Blitz today, I'd play the Tiny Magnetic Pets because I would have been playing Seconds by the Human League.
Yeah.
And then I would have played Dun 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 Control Me. So I might as well put the Rusty Egan mix, not the REOE mix that I really love, the really heavy one, which is available on the 3 mixes. But I'll just do the commercial pop one. So that's on it. And then Tiny Magnetic Pet said, would you like the track called Blitzed? And I went, you know what? It's meant to be, you know. Put that on it. Yeah. And then, of course, you all know I love Julia Bondar.
Yeah.
And she's got a track called Queer. And if you look at the video, it's a man becoming a trans in a toilet.
Right.
Which is quite a lot of the people who came to the Blitz didn't leave their mum and dad's house looking like that. If you go out looking like that, son, you're not coming back. So they went to some toilet somewhere and da-da, they got all dressed up to go to the Blitz. So I said, I've got to have that. And then I thought, well, I got hold of a few other people and a lot of them said, yeah, but no, yeah, but no. And I kind of like, I left it up to, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to get upset. Although I have to admit, I am upset that I couldn't get the knife. I love the knife.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought one of the best, you know, synth pop electro for years. And the video is a trans in a sort of very bad gig. Like a handful of people are just not interested in you. You know those gigs where you
I've been to
show up and you're like, oh no, this is like going to be like the mental wing of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, you know, and then I've got to stay here for 3 hours. And then they all get up dancing and then they're all fun. That was the video of the knife, but I couldn't get it, and I really wanted to put, and I know it's not very Blitz, but I really wanted to put one of my chill out mixes of U2 on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I love my chill out mixes of U2. And the Blitz Club, there wasn't really much ambient music around, you know.
No, there weren't.
You know, with a vocal. There was like Brian Eno, discrete music, and there was Jean-Michel Jarre, and there was, you know, instrumental. But there was never really an atmospheric vocal you know, I was like, oh, I'd love to put that on and close the album with it. But guess what happened? I remembered that I went to see Boy George in January at the Scala, and I saw We Are Brando. And I said to myself, I should put We Are Brando on it. So, because I'm in contact with George, I said, hey, George, you know that band? Oh, they'd love it. They'd love it. And I said, well, you remember that night I came to see you? You sang, Where Are We Now? Where are we now? David Bowie. He said, yeah. I said, but have you got a live recording? And he said, yeah, I have. So I said, can I put it on the album and close the album with it?
Really?
To me, Where Are We Now? At the end of the whole album.
Indeed.
It would be the perfect closer. So I got it. I also got a 15-minute version of Neon Lights.
Really?
By Jonah Marr. It's one of the best. It's in homage to Florian Schneider.
Yeah.
It is the best. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I sent it to Wolfgang Fleur from Kraft. He loved it. He said, that's amazing. And then guess what happened? I got Wolfgang to give me a track to put on it. I said, all right, Wolfgang, I got to put you on it. Beat perfecto, Wolfgang.
Yeah, I mean, he is a fantastic guy.
And then Wolfgang, I don't know if you know, but he speaks on Tiny Magnetic Pets.
Right.
So I've got a track on my next album, and I sent it to him, and he narrates the story. I wanted somebody to narrate the story, and he did it. And
Really?
Straight back.
Yeah.
Now, if you go on my SoundCloud, I wrote a song about 2 years ago. Chris Payne gave me the most beautiful chords. That's what I love about Chris.
Yeah, brilliant.
He gave me Ballet Dancer. I write the lyrics in the song. I sit where I'm sitting right now, and all I have is like a bit of piano. And then I do what I'm trying to say. I don't have anybody write songs. But you could literally go ding, 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 ding. I read the news today, oh boy. I mean, you're in that. And I had a song that sounded like a Beatles song, A Day in the Life. And when I say it sounded like it, the story, the lyric was, I stood in line today for a film about a boy that could fly, when an angel fell right out of the sky into this heart. Anyway, but there's a line in a Beatles song that said something. I saw a film today. Oh boy, that was it.
Yeah.
And it kept putting me off. And I said, but no, Rusty, you stood in line at the Cannes Film Festival to see a film, and it was about a boy that could fly. It was basically somebody that could levitate.
Yeah.
And when an angel fell right out of the sky into this heart, I literally had a Cupid moment.
Yeah.
And I met a girl, and I went, wow, can I meet you later? And I gave it a name in French, you know, Le Petit Majestic Café. And I went to Le Petit Majestic after the movie, and she was sitting there.
Really?
Oh my God. And I'd been in there nearly every night, and I literally could snap my fingers and the waiter arrived, because I was in there every night.
Yeah.
I was, and would you like a drink? And everything went like so perfect. And it's such a romantic story. So I wrote the song. I thought that I could never love again. I was wrong. So the reason I'm telling you a story is because on Blitzed, I thought, why don't I put that song on Blitzed? It's so romantic. But Eric Stein from Cult With No Name had sung on 2 versions of it. I'd done 2 mixes. And one mix is called Teardrops in the Rain mix. And the Teardrops in the Rain comes from Blade Runner.
Indeed, yeah.
And I just felt it was like the end of going off to, you know, die, you know, when you've got a broken heart, you know.
Yeah.
And you're not, I didn't find my love. I didn't have my love. We didn't, it was just a weekend. I just got I just got shot by Cupid for a weekend. And the Teardrops in the Rain mix.
But I think Colt with no name.
Yeah, Eric.
Can, do any emotion you want to do.
Yeah, Eric is my Brian Ferry.
Yeah.
And what happened was, when I was looking online for Boy George, I saw him singing in a bar in New York with Kobe Cole. So I searched Kobe Cole, and I saw Boy George again, and he goes, "Oh, I was in New York, and there's this guy, and he's amazing." So I thought, I'll find Kobe Cole. And Kobe Cole's voice is about 5 octaves higher than anybody. I'll stand in line. He's like up there.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Let's give it a try. Let's see, like Yellow and Shirley Bassey. The Rhythm Divine. I don't know if you know it. So I thought, dear Kobe Cole, I've written this song. Would you like to sing it? Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. he's so high up. So he sings it.
Yeah.
And he sends it to me. And I mix it. And then I say to myself, why don't I make it like he's in a bar? And why don't I change the bass to a double bass? A stand-up double bass.
Yeah.
Like on the Visage album cover. There's a little man in the background with a piano. So I made it, Chris Payne's on the piano. Chris Payne does all the strings and everything. Double bass, simple drum. And then I thought, well, you might as well have some bar atmosphere. So it starts off with clinking glasses and people and then I stood in line today. His voice. And I mix it. I'm all proud of it. Master it. Send him a copy. Send him a contract. Tell him I'm going to put it on a Blitz Club album. And then he goes, I don't like it. I go, you're going to be on a Blitz Club album with Tony Hadley, with Midge Ure, with Boy George. You're going to be on this album. You're a guy that sings in a bar. Wouldn't you like to be on this album?
Indeed.
Yeah, but I can do better. So I said, okay. Well, the album's not out till March. January, nothing.
Yeah.
February, nothing. So I get hold of him. I say, look, I think it's great. I wouldn't put it on the album if I didn't.
Yeah.
I've sent you a contract. Then he goes, well, it cost me a certain amount of money to make it. I'm like, what? He said, I had to pay a studio to record it. I said, oh, I can understand that. I'll pay that. I'll send you the contract. So the bloke in the office sends a contract. Well, if you have to pay somebody to sing on a record, it's called a session fee.
Yeah.
If you're on the record, which says Rusty Egan presents featuring Boy George.
Yeah.
Featuring Kobe Cole. You're a featured artist. The session fee is just what you wanted. You're the only one. Boy George didn't ask me for a session fee.
Well, that's what I mean. If it's 50 quid, it's 50 quid.
Yeah, but he comes back and he goes, how dare you call me a session fee? So I said, mate, it's a well-known musical term so that they can give you the money.
Yeah.
It's just put down in the accounts department. So then he goes, well, I'm not happy about the whole thing. And then that was it. Never heard from him again.
Really?
So I put it on SoundCloud. It's a free download.
But
Rusty,
we'll wind things up. I want to talk to you in a minute once we'll wind things up. But I've got the link to the album. You've sent that to me.
Is that the EP?
Well, send me the other link then.
Well, I haven't got it yet, have I? It doesn't come out till Friday.
All right. Well, I'll put the Blitz Club thing on.
Well, 4 tracks. EP.
Yeah, I've got the EP one.
Right. Ronnie, Boy George, When We Were Young, and I forgot.
Yeah.
Ronnie, Boy George, When We Were Young. One more. Brilliant EP. Brilliant. And a beautiful cover taken by Sheila Rock.
Well, I've got the EP.
Yeah. Thank you. It's great.
And I believe I've got half the album, but
the other 30 tracks or 32 track album will all go live tomorrow night if you're showing this whenever.
Yeah.
Go live at midnight maybe on
Thursday. I tell you what, lucky enough for me, in a strange way, it's gale force winds and heavy rain up here in Norfolk tomorrow, which basically means I'm going nowhere. So
okay, so you're going to do an edit.
I can edit this and get it online.
Well, let me do a shameless plug then. Rusty Egan presents Visage 1980-21. Zane Griff, Chris Payne, Chris Brooks, Rusty Egan, some beautiful girls. West W Fest, August the 29th, 2021, 90-minute, both album 1 and album 2 in their entirety. And I've been planning that for a couple of years.
I know you have, mate. I know you have.
We're not being a band called Visage.
Rusty,
Egan
can I just stop you for 2 seconds? I'm actually dying for a wee. I'll be back in a minute.
And you're going to edit?
No, I might leave it in.
Me talking to nobody.
No, just give me a minute before I wet this.
I don't mind. I'll just keep talking. So, Stephen, it has got to go to the Numanoid toilet in the Numan Arms. What do you think is in the Numanoid? As a matter of fact, I've been in Midge's toilet and he has a letter from Prince Charles. So you're standing there with your John Thomas reading a letter from Prince Charles saying, thank you very much for all that you've done for Band-Aid. And I've been in numerous people's toilets around the world. I've got all of my electronic sound magazines, every single one from the beginning. So you could be in that toilet for months and months going, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Electronic Sound magazine. Fantastic. And then my own Visage gold records, which were presented to me in the 80s, went along with my house and my furniture and everything to the bitch, I will say it live, who stole my house. And then they appear on auction sites.
Oh, Rusty.
10 grand. Oh, he's back. He's out of the Numanoid toilet.
I like to think after 40 odd years in your career, that's the first interview you've done where someone says, I've got to need a wee.
I don't mind. Especially as it's not live.
No.
And after this bit here, I go, and then you edit back.
Yes, indeed.
Can I keep talking or do you want to shorten the interview?
No. I don't even know how long we've been talking, mate. I haven't even got a time.
Well, what we've done is we've itemised the fact that there is a soundtrack to Blitzed called Blitzed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but the neon sign outside the Blitz Club says Blitzed.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. The 32 tracks, every single one of them is either in the documentary, is related to the Blitz Club, or somebody that was in the Blitz Club performing like Zane Griff or Hans Zimmer or Warren Cann or Midge Ure or Barry Adamson or Rusty Egan or Peter Godwin or Ronnie, and the list goes on, and Spandau and Richard Burgess and Landscape and Shock, and the list goes on, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't look at it and say, well, what's Julia Bondar doing in there? Mm-hmm. As I told you, the video, me supporting her and loving what she does. The video would be examples of people. And I tried to get a couple of others. And even We Are Brando, they've got a video of a young lad going into a toilet, dressing up as a girl and going out clubbing.
Maybe that's what I should have done.
Well, the next single isn't going to be a hit record at all. It's a work of art. And it is basically Catwalk. And Catwalk is a celebration of LGBTQ 40 years after. The B-side of Catwalk is Ultra V Pulse 18. Ultra V, I can't say it because there's a bit of plagiarism, and there's 40 years ago there was homophobia.
Yeah.
So Ultra V is what Alex in A Clockwork Orange liked to do on a Friday night. He liked to go to the Corova Milk Bar to liven himself up for a bit of the old Ultra V. And then they went out, the droids went out looking for people to seriously beat up. And believe it or not, Boy George and Gary Numan and me and everyone else, we lived at the same time as that.
I know.
And we were 20, 21.
I know.
And we had to try and get on the underground, get on the bus, whatever. So what I've done is I've made a video. Well, I haven't. A friend of mine has. And we're just trying to express to the last remaining, and should I dare say, millenniums that are homophobic and or violent. And Philip Salon got beaten up and put in hospital walking around Soho of all places. It is basically me showing millenniums and us the society that we lived in. And if you listen to Turn to Dust, the lyrics are about having the strength to be me. That's what Boy George is doing. Well, and I will be me. And that's what we did at the Blitz. You went out, you were not sure if you're a boy or a girl. You like Numan, you're a bloody weirdo. Oh, you're a what do you call them? Not a goth, the other one. Emu. Are you an emo? And you just get picked on by these numbskulls. So,
well, be fair, Rusty, one of my sons is gay.
My son is gay.
Yeah, well, one of my sons is gay.
And is your son? Do you fear for his life when he leaves the house?
No.
Well, 40 years ago, you would have done.
You would have done. But yes. It's funny, really, because when he announced the fact that he was gay, and I said, so? I said, during the 80s, most of my friends were gay. It didn't mean nothing to them. We all had a laugh, we done this and that.
Well, I hope one day you can change the word gay to black, and it won't mean most of my friends were black.
Yeah.
Why would it mean anything? Being gay or being black or being anything should be irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Well, it's not still in Trump America, and it's not still today where people are being picked on at school and they become self-harmers or something. And now look at the royals A year ago, some 40-year-old TV presenter kills herself because of being hounded by the press.
Yeah.
George Michael was hounded by the press.
Indeed.
And so many people have been fitted up for being gay or being anything, and being trans or being anything. So all I'm saying is, we're all on a catwalk. You sit in a cafe and you watch the people walking by, and you don't go, oh, there's an emu, oh, there's a bloody goth, oh, there's a bloody Numanoid.
I tell you, Rusty, the best times I have in my life is sitting with my wife, be it in Mykonos, wherever, sitting on the bar and watching, sitting on the harbour, watching people walk by.
Everybody loves to do that.
It's brilliant.
But
yeah, I don't judge.
I don't go, which one's the wife?
Oh, you know,
I'm joking, but I'm trying to say that I've sat in a cafe next to homophobic people or next to racist people. And it's 2021.
Indeed.
In 1980, when you went to an underground club.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And you heard underground music, they didn't say, I don't know if you know, but George Michael was told before he made the album Older, 7 years he wouldn't make a record for that record company because he was told to stop hanging around with faggots like Elton John. He got told that by the head of the record company, Tommy Mottola. And he said, as long as you're the head of this record company, I'm never going to make another record. How about that?
Yeah, I know. He did.
But the record company backed Tommy Mottola for 7 years, rather than George Michael making a record.
It's bizarre.
Killed his career. And the girl that was in Blade Runner, she suffered the director, sleep with the director stuff. What's that called? Me Too.
Yeah.
She had her whole career ruined because she wouldn't sleep with the director, and he wouldn't let anyone else book her for a movie. And he was a powerful Hollywood mogul.
Yeah.
And hashtag Me Too closed that down. So all I'm saying, Stephen, is I'm making a record and I'm just trying to say they're our stars. Not just them, everybody. Indeed. Everybody is special in some way or other. And if you get pigeonholed as a emu or whatever because you like The Cure, and you get picked on by kids at school for any reason, I just think that shouldn't exist. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's getting that way.
It is getting that way, but it's only taken 40, 50 years, like since Quentin Crisp.
Yeah, then Rusty, think when we were young, how our parents thought, it changes. Everything changes.
Well, you saw It's a Sin. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Well,
so everything changes, doesn't it?
That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You can still go down the road and some bloke would say, oh, you're a bloody puff or something. They're still here. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
And all I'm saying is I can't claim to be anything to Blitz. I'm just the DJ that played the music, that was open and welcoming. And I've made an album to go with a documentary that I didn't make. I'm just a talking head. They talk to everybody. They talk to George and Julia and Marilyn and Gary Kemp and everyone. And I just thought when I made Catwalk that they are the stars, not me, not Steve, the people that went to the Blitz. They are and went on to be what they were going to be when they were 20. I'm going to be a fashion designer. I'm going to be a photographer. I'm going to be an artist.
I think if I'm honest with you, Rusty, you pull yourself down a little bit, because anyone who knows anything knows Rusty Egan.
Wow, that's a great statement to say, but I can actually tell you.
But
they don't. And
no, they do.
On tour with Midge, when I was on tour with Midge, he said there are 50% of this audience have come here to hear 2 songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
but that's true.
Well, the wife dragged the bloke along, or the bloke dragged the wife along, you know. And you've seen my the Electronic Family Tree Facebook page. The holding page is dating, and he goes Depeche Mode, Kraftwerk, and she goes who, and he goes next. I mean, if you met a girl and you said Numan, she went who, you go next.
Well, yeah.
So, you know, I just think, no, a lot of people know the music, they know the club, they know Steve Strange, they know the 80s, they don't know Rusty Egan. And I wrote the other day, I was on YouTube or something, and there were all these people talking about Fade to Grey with nothing to do with Rusty Egan and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? As we explained at the beginning. And I saw Chris Payne and he said that, and Mid said that.
Before you say Chris Payne, he's there trying to ring me.
Yeah, but talking of Fade to Grey, it's on my Blitzed. It's 8 minutes long, and there was only me and Chris Payne and my son. We make all my music now. Anyway, the point I was trying to get to then was that I said the music that I make, most people know Fade to Grey and Vienna. They might know the Tiny Magnetic Pets. They don't know Rusty Egan had anything to do with them, or they don't know Rusty Egan. They don't know my role. But if you look at Steve-O, Soft Cell, Depeche Mode, you know, my role was quite important, you know.
The name popped up. Rusty,